Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another guide for Scum. And in today's guide, I am going to teach you guys how to level up every single skill in Scum. If you do not know what skills are, when you go to your metabolism screen, you've got your 4 attributes, which is strength, constitution, dexterity, and intelligence. And every attribute has got skills connected to it. So these are the skills that I'm talking about. So we're just going to go through every single skill from the top to the bottom, going from left to right. I'm going to show you how to level up every single skill in game. I haven't leveled up any skills except that I spawned in a few items for this video. That's why I've got 3 awareness. But we're going to start right from the top. I'm going to show you very quickly how to level up every skill basically. And then at the end of the video, I will share with you some advanced tips how to level up your skills faster overall, and then how to level up rifles and sniping extremely fast once you're able to go into an abandoned bunker. So without wasting any more time, let's do this. To level up Brawling, all you need to do is to hit a puppet. Okay? And on average, you will gain about 3 to 4% experience when you start with no skill, depending on what puppet you're fighting. To level up your melee weapons, you just hit a puppet with a melee weapon. The best way to do this is to use a wooden sword, because the more times you hit a puppet, the more skill you will gain. And once again, you will receive an average of 3 to 4%, depending on what kind of puppet it is and how many shots the puppet can take. How do you level up Archery? Plain and simple, you hit a puppet with an arrow and a bow, and wooden arrows are the most effective way to level up Archery, because you want to hit the puppet as many times as possible. And depending on what puppet you're hitting, the skill gain can vary, but on average, about 7%. How do you level up rifles? Plain and simple, you hit a puppet with any kind of rifle. Not a pistol, okay, just a rifle. So we're going to change our gun to single shot over here. And that is how you level up rifles. You will gain an average of 5% depending on what puppet you're eating. Next on the list is how do you level up handguns? Plain and simple, you shoot a puppet with a handgun. On average, you will gain around 5%, depending on what puppet it is, depending on how many shots the puppet takes to kill. Next, we are moving over to Constitution, since we've covered everything in strength. First one is running. How do you level up running? Plain and simple, you run. As you're running, you will level up your running skill. Plain and straightforward. The speed at which you level up running is dependent on how fast you cover a certain distance, and that will be related to the speed at which you're running, which is related to the weight you're carrying and your dexterity attribute, because dexterity affects how long you take to level something up. Next one on the list is endurance. How do you level up endurance? Plain and simple, you add weight to yourself and you move. Or you do something that's strenuous to you, like chopping down trees, building a base, but basically just moving around. And the more weight you have on you, the faster you will level up your endurance. As you can see, our endurance is going up by 30, 31, 32. Okay, but if we remove the weight from us, we're not really, we are leveling up endurance, but way slower. So the more weight you're carrying on you, the more endurance you will build up. Okay, plain and simple. The more weight you have on you, the more you will level up endurance. I am leveling up endurance because of all the gear I have on me. I've got tactical armor on me that weighs 15 kilograms. So out of my total carry weight, I'm carrying 30 kilograms. So while I'm running around, I'm leveling up endurance. Next on the list will be Thievery. Now that we're moving to the dexterity skills, Thievery is one of the most important skills in the game. It affects a lot of your gameplay. And the easiest way to level up your Thievery is to come to a police station. Just be careful of the NPCs. I just quickly killed 3 NPCs that spawned in. But the easiest way to level up your Thievery is to just get a normal screwdriver and a normal bobby pin and open up the lockers. All you do is you move your mouse, then you hold in F and you keep moving the mouse until you find the sweet spot to open up the locker, and then you can get something in the locker. We are very lucky to find a key card, and we were very lucky to find a very good pistol. But that is how you level up your Thievery skill. You will gain about 55 experience from every locker that you open up right at the start of the game. That is the easiest way to level up Thievery. Your second option to level up Thievery is to craft a lockpicking board. You can always go to crafting and go to lock and then double click on the lockpicking board, and it will show you need 1 plank, 1 rubber band, 1 nail, 3 padlocks, and a workbench, and you'll be able to craft a lockpicking board. When using a lockpicking board, do yourself a favor and have at least 1 advanced lockpick. So we take the advanced lockpick in our hand, and you can start with a basic lock, which is way more difficult than a police station locker or a cargo drop locker or most of the lockers that you find in the world. And you can try and lockpick this, which is very difficult because you can see the timer is going much faster than normally when you open up a locker. So if I go here and I take a bobby pin, normally when you open up a normal lock, you've got 10 seconds to find the sweet spot, and it won't break. Okay, it will not break. So you've got a ton of time, and you'll be able to gain some loot when you're leveling up Thievery this way. But when you're using a lockpicking board to level up lockpicking from nothing, then it is necessary to use an advanced lockpick. And even if you do get it right to open up the basic lock like this, even if you get it right to open up a lock with a 3-second timer, you're going to gain less experience than just opening up a police station locker or a cargo drop locker or any other locker in the world naturally. We gained 55 experience per locker, per police station locker, but we only gained 28 experience from this, which is way more difficult. So I recommend just doing it naturally. Next on the list is Demolition, which is luckily way easier. You level up Demolition with a practice bomb and a wire cutter. So you just put the practice bomb on like a table. If I can find a spot here to put it down quickly. But I usually do this. You can do this in your base. Okay, but let's put the practice bomb down there. And Okay, so it wants me to place it like that. Okay, so we can place it like that. And all you do is you take the wire cut in your hands. Okay, we've got zero demolition skill. You press F on it, and it will give you 5 seconds to cut 3 wires. So you press spacebar, you look at where the green wires are going, and you cut the three wires. And that gives you 110 experience. Okay? Way easier. You can even increase the timer on the practice bomb. So you can press F and then use your arrow keys on your keyboard to make it longer. So I'm changing it now. I'm making the timer longer, or I'm making the timer shorter. The standard is 5 seconds. You can even start with 6 seconds. Okay? So, or 7 seconds. The thing is, at 8 seconds, you stop gaining experience. So I recommend practicing on 5 seconds or 6 seconds. So we gained 110 experience the first time with 5 seconds, which is the default. If I press my arrow keys to make it 5 seconds, then I have gained 82 experience instead of 110 experience. But you can still level up demolition this way. And as soon as you get to medium, you can try to defuse suicide puppets, which only gives you 3 seconds. So I recommend practicing on the practice bomb until you can, do 3 seconds, and then you do it on suicide puppets. That will be a ton more experience that you gain. Or you can go into a kill box, which you need a key card for, and you need the right bunker. You need to go to a bunker that has a kill box, and if you defuse all the doors with a wire cutter there, you also gain a lot more experience. And how do you make a practice bomb? Very easy. You just type in practice, double click. It takes 5 blue wires. It takes 1 piece of scrap metal. It takes a battery, and it takes some electrician tools. Next on the list is stealth, and because of the NPCs and because people struggle with NPCs, I recommend you move around in a town crouched. So you see that I'm standing up now I'm crouched, okay? So I move around in a town like this so that NPCs don't spawn on top of me, and so that I'm move slowly and I give the puppets time to spawn into the world. I also like moving like this because if a player jogs into this town or runs into this town, I am way more likely to hear that player before that player hears me. So I'm making less noise. I'm giving the NPCs and puppets time to spawn in so that I've got an advantage over them. And as I am crouch walking like this through the town or through a bunker or through any dangerous point of interest, I am leveling up my stealth. Okay? So all you do is you crouch walk and you level up your stealth. It's as easy as that. And this will definitely help you to not die such a lot from NPCs or players. Next on our list, we've got driving. How do you level up driving? Very simple. You just drive any 4-wheeled vehicle. Now, because I've got no skill, the only thing that the skill is going to affect me with is starting the vehicle. At a low driving skill, you're going to struggle to start the vehicle. At a high driving skill, you're going to start your vehicle very quickly. And that can cause your death as well. Like if you're trying to start the car and someone is close to you and they hear you struggling to start the car, they can probably kill you. But the faster you can start the car, the better. Okay? So we've got no driving skill. We're going to start the car. As we're driving the car, we are leveling up our driving skill. And the fastest way to level up your driving skill is to drive as fast as possible for as fast as possible, as far as possible. That's how you level up your driving skill. Next on the list is motorcycling. How do you level up motorcycling? You drive a motorcycle. At the moment, you can drive a dirt bike or a cruiser. I'm just going to use a dirt bike for this. So we're going to start the dirt bike. Same as with the car. The faster you drive the motorcycle, the more distance you cover, the faster you level up motorcycling. And that is how you level up motorcycling. Next on the list is aviation. How do you level up aviation? Well, you fly a plane. How do you acquire a plane? Well, there's a plane that spawns in the D4 hangar. There's a plane that spawns in the B2 hangars. And there's a marina like this that spawns at the naval base. But you have to go there with fuel because the planes spawn without fuel. So you have to take fuel, fill the plane up, and then fly it away without the sentries killing you or without you dying, which does take some skill. But we are just focusing on how to level up the skills. And how to level up the skill, how to level up aviation is basically just fly a plane. So mouse scroll wheel forward, press spacebar to release the handbrake, press Q and E to steer the plane, and then press S to lift off, and then press A and D to turn left and right. Or you can still press Q and E with the rudder to change direction like this. And very, very simply, that is how you level up aviation. The further you fly, the more distance you cover, the more you level up aviation. And with the marina, you can land and take off even on water. But with the other duster, you cannot land on water. And that is how you level up aviation. Next on the list is awareness. Awareness is pretty easy. I'm just going to spawn myself in a Bushman here, which is my favorite knife. So the way you level up awareness is just by seeing items in your vicinity. Okay, so I've got 869 experience in awareness. If I look at my vicinity, there's nothing in my vicinity. But when I cut up this bush, then sticks will appear in my vicinity. And then my awareness will go up. There we go. So there we go. 924 experience because of the items that I see in my vicinity. If I cut this long stick into small sticks, it will go up again because I'm seeing more items in my vicinity. So from 924 to 968. That is how you level up awareness. You just see more and more items in your vicinity, and that happens naturally when you build a base because you're chopping down trees, you're chopping down branches into sticks, you're chopping long sticks into short sticks, you're chopping logs into planks, and you can naturally level up awareness by just building your base. Next on the list is camouflage. The skill doesn't work at the moment in Scum. I don't know why they haven't removed the skill or replaced it with something more realistic. But how do you level the skill up? Plain and simple. You go to where there's some cover like grass. You lie down, and that's how you level up your camouflage. By just lying still in grass. And you do this naturally. Most of the time when you rest. And that's how you level up your camouflage. Although it doesn't currently work. The skill itself. Next on the list is cooking. How do we level up cooking? Well, first of all, we craft a little improvised fireplace. We place it down. We add the sticks and the rags or whatever you need to fulfill it. You hold in F, you light the fire with a lighter or matches or fire drawer that you craft yourself. Then you click on the fireplace, you go to skewers, and the most effective skewers to combat exhaustion is a vegetable skewer. So you go cook, you drag your vegetables to the 3 vegetable slots. And then we forgot a mushroom. So I'm just going to spawn in a Borletus mushroom, which you can find very easily in the world. And then you can buy the salt and the pepper from the trader at the traders. Okay, so you cook a vegetable skewer. That's already going to level up your cooking. But again, if you want to combat exhaustion and you're tired of struggling with exhaustion, eat some meat with it as well. Add the salt and the black pepper. If you add all the optional ingredients, which is blue, you will remember those recipes. So if you need a cooking book to cook a certain recipe and you put all the optional ingredients in, you cook it, you won't need the cooking book to cook that recipe again. Okay, and by the time that we're done cooking these 2, you will see at the moment we've got no cooking skill, but as soon as we're done with these 2 skewers, so as soon as this light blue bar turns green, you're just going to click on this section there to get your vegetable skewer. Got 3 uses with a lot of, if you go over the vegetable skewer, you will see that at the bottom there's an exhaustion recovery bonus, which is really, really nice. And just with that vegetable skewer, we've gained 8% in cooking. Okay, let's see what we gain with just cooking 1 vegetable skewer and 1 meat skewer. So far, the vegetable skewer is giving us 8%. How much does the very, very easy meat skewer give us? Again, as soon as the bar becomes green, you click this little red button there to get your skewer. Now we've got a vegetable skewer that is combating exhaustion with 12 stamina units, and we're eating a meat skewer that combats exhaustion with 9 stamina units. And just out of those 2, we gained 18%. Okay? It's not to say that the meat skewer gives you more skill points than the vegetable skewer. As you level up, you gain more experience. So they are roughly the same. But still, just basically crafting a vegetable skewer and a meat skewer gives you 18% in cooking. And when you eat 1 use of the vegetable skewer and you eat 1 use of the meat skewer, once every hour in game, you will never struggle with exhaustion again. So you're killing quite a lot of birds with 1 stone and then helping yourself to never struggle with exhaustion. And as you guys can see, the vegetable skewer gives you a really high intake of energy, and it gives you a really high intake of water. And then the meat skewer, of course, helps you a lot with protein, where the vegetable skewer helps you a lot with carbs. Next on the list, we've got medical. How do you level up your medical skill in a very, very basic form? Well, you get hurt. And then as soon as you get hurt, you'll have bleeding markers. Because I've got no medical skill, I'm going to need at least 4 bandages. But I've got a rag there as well. So with no medical skill, it takes 200% bandages to heal that. And healing that basic wound gives us 55 experience. And then healing the other basic wound will probably give us a little bit more. So the first one gave us 55 experience. The next one gives us 55 experience as well. Okay. The bigger the injury is, like those were 2 C1s, the bigger the injury is, like a C2, C3, C4, the bigger injury that you heal, the more experience you will gain. And that is why we always suggest starting with advanced medical, because this takes forever. Very detrimental to do it naturally, because you have to constantly get hurt to level it up, and you don't want to get hurt. And that's why you start with advanced medical. It's not very natural to level up medical this way. Next on the list is sniping. How do you level up sniping? Well, quite straightforward. You guys remember that we leveled up our rifle skill with an MP5, but I also put the red dot and the ACOG on my quick slots. So if I press 5, I will remove this red dot, and if I press 6, I will put the ACOG on. So I'm just going to make sure I'm on single shot. Okay, so I can hold shift and hold my right mouse button to see what fire mode I'm on. And I can hold in shift and press my left mouse button to change my firing modes. Okay, so let's just go to single shot again. And now I'm going to spawn in a military puppet because he's a little bit tougher and he needs a little bit more shots to kill. And you will see now, although we're going to level up sniping, we're going to level up rifles as well. 23,000. Okay, we went from 23,000 skill points in rifles to 25,000 skill points in rifles. The reason that the rifles are so high is because I killed the dropship that you guys saw while I was busy testing, and we gained 9% in sniping. So using an ACOG on a gun will level up your rifles and your sniping. And at the end of the video, I will show you how advanced players level up their rifles and their sniping really, really fast. But it's because they can do abandoned bunkers. But that's how you level up sniping. Just shoot a puppet with an ACOG or a scope on. But if you want to level up sniping and rifles, use an ACOG, not the other scopes. Next on the list is survival. How do you level up survival? Well, you level up survival as you're building your base, and you level up engineering while you're building your base. So these two work very, very well together. But I'm going to show you the first part. So how do you level up survival? You process trees and bushes. So when I cut up this tree, I'm currently at 264 experience in survival. And when I'm done cutting up the tree, now I'm at 374 experience. That will be the same whether I'm cutting down a bush, whether I'm cutting small sticks or long sticks into small sticks. And even if I cut this log into planks, I will be leveling up survival. So it's basically just cutting up the materials to build your base. That's how you level up survival. Next one on the list is engineering. How do you level up engineering? You can see I've got a little bit more survival because I chopped up all the logs into planks. But how do you level up engineering? Well, first of all, you need a flag. I'm going to destroy this flag now, but you need a flag so that you can build base building materials. So let's say you build your first foundation. Okay, so we're putting down a foundation over here. And this needs sticks and logs and rope. So I'm just going to, I can literally craft myself rope. But just for this, I'm going to spawn in a rope. Okay, just going to spawn in rope that you can find in the world. And as you guys can see, we've got 0 experience. But as soon as we fill this blueprint, we've still got 0 experience because I've still got God mode on. Sorry. So I'm just going to turn God mode off. Okay, so let's make another blueprint. Control C, or go to crafting, make another platform. Let's put the platform over here. Okay, now that God mode is off, because I used God mode just to put down a flag quickly. Now that God mode is off, and we're literally going to add the ingredients to the blueprint instead of God mode doing it. Now we're leveling up engineering. Okay, it needs a few more logs. If we cut down another tree. Okay, so if we just spawn in 2 logs, 2 wooden logs. Okay, we're on 124 experience. We add the 2 logs there. Now we're on 192 experience. A great way to get a lot of experience is adding a lot of resources to a blueprint. So if you put down a 10-meter wall here quickly, Just going to put down a 10-meter wall here quickly. Then you're going to see we need 40 sticks, 40 planks, and a cutting tool. So what I'm going to do is just spawn in 40 planks quickly. Then 20, 30, 40. And then I'm going to spawn in 40 sticks. 10, 20, 30, 40. And then, you know, I don't want to use my axe. So I usually collect kitchen knives to fill in the cutting tool. So like I'm going to go kitchen. I'm just going to get a kitchen knife. So what I like to do is I like to put the kitchen knife in my hand, because otherwise it's going to use the axe's durability. You can see there are 40 uses of a cutting tool. I'm putting the tool in my hand that I wanted to use. I'm holding shift and pressing F to add all the resources to it. And there it took the durability of my kitchen knife instead of my axe, because I've got the kitchen knife in my hand. And with that one 10-meter wall, I've gained 25% experience in engineering. So outer walls, really, really good to level up engineering. And then even upgrading your base is really good for engineering as well. And building your base gives you a few fame points as well. And the last thing on the list, ladies and gentlemen, is farming. How do you level up farming? Well, in my personal opinion, just building a farm and then destroying it, and then building a farm and destroying it is the best way to level up farming and the fastest way. But of course, you want to play the game immersively. So basically just building a farm. So you go to base building, and then you need a garden. You need a garden to level up farming. So you just place a garden at your base like this. Okay, and if you want to level up farming, make your garden as big as possible. But we're just going to make a standard size garden over here. We need 11 planks and 22 nails. So we're going to spawn in 11 planks and 22 nails. And then we need a blunt tool, which we can easily get. Like I've got an axe. I've got an axe on me. I've got an axe. Because I've got planks in my vicinity, I'm just going to run over here where there's a plank in my vicinity. And then I can craft a wooden club, which acts as a blunt tool. Very, very, very easy to have a blunt tool. You can literally craft a wooden club from a plank. So there we've got the plank now. And now we can fill the farm. And you can see we've got no farming. We fill the farm. And then we've got 12% farming. Okay? That's how you level up farming. But then, of course, while you putting seeds into the farm, while you're adding fertilizer, fungicide, pesticide, basically while you're farming, ladies and gentlemen, you've got various plot signs here. You need fertilizer, you need seeds, you need water. As you're growing food, you're going to level up farming naturally. Okay? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you level up every single skill in Scum. Now, the bonus tip that I've got two bonus tips for you. The first bonus tip is do not worry about intelligence too much. Various people have argued with me about this, but I'd like you guys to test it for yourself. Go to single player, start with a character with only 1 intelligence. Spawn yourself in a 2-handed axe. Just spawn in a 2-handed axe and just cut a tree. Don't add any skills to your character. Start a character with 0 skills, but with 1 intelligence. Go to a tree, cut down the tree with an axe that you spawn in, so you're not affecting the skill gain. And you will see when you cut down a tree with a 2-handed axe, you will only gain 100 experience with 1 intelligence. If you start another character in single player, and this works the same in multiplayer, if you start another character in single player and you put your intelligence to 3, like this character, and you cut down a tree with the 2-handed axe, you will gain 110 experience in survival, which means every point in intelligence gives you 5% extra skill gain. So it's not really worth it to start with a 5 intelligence character because you want to gain more skill points with all the activities that you're doing. Because if every point in intelligence only gives you 5%, then the difference between a 3 intelligence character and a 5 intelligence character is basically just so that you can gain skill points 10% faster, which isn't really a big deal. If you're on an official server, then of course you need high intelligence to have like a clan of 10, but that's about it. Okay. On just skill gain, it's not necessary to focus on the intelligence because each point in intelligence only gives you 5% more skill gains, which is not that worth it. Even if you start with a character with 5 intelligence and then you go into an abandoned bunker and you kill 100 razors to find a level 3 ampule that increases your intelligence to 8, then if you start with instead of starting with a level 3 character, if you've got 8 intelligence because you drank the ampule from the razor and you're going to have to keep drinking it to keep your intelligence at 8, then still the difference between 3 and 8 intelligence is 5. That's a 25% increase in your skill gain. So that's worth it. If you want to focus on leveling up your survival and your engineering fast, then you have to start with a 5 intelligence character, then go into an abandoned bunker, then kill a bunch of razors, farm level 3 ampules, and then build your base as you're drinking the ampules, which is a heck of a lot of effort. But I mean, that's at least a difference, you know? Instead of starting with a 3 intelligence character, if you can get your character up to 8 intelligence, you do gain 25% more skill points. I just personally don't think it's worth it. So let's go to the final tip. How do experienced players level up their rifle skill and their sniping skill really, really fast? So how do you level up your rifle skill and your sniping skill as fast as humanly possible? Now, you know, we've got basic rifles, but that doesn't really mean anything. And we've got a bit of sniping. So we are now at an abandoned bunker. One of them is C4. You can always come here during the night when they are open. But luckily we've got a key card. So we're going to activate the bunker with the key card. Make sure we're on automatic. And make sure we're using an MP5 SD. Because an MP5 SD has got a suppressor attached to it. So we don't need to repair the suppressor separately. We just need to repair the gun as we're shooting the gun. Now, you don't have to bring 50 fully loaded MP5 magazines. You can bring just a bunch of, you can fill half your hiking backpack with 9mm ammo, half your backpack with magazines, and then just reload the magazines as you're going. But you're going to need at least 4 weapon cleaning kits to keep the weapon repaired. Okay, so you're going to walk down the first level with your key card, or if the bunker is open at night, you're just going to walk in here at night because the bunkers are active now and then. I'll put the gamma up for you guys just so that you can see what's going on here. So I'll put the gamma up a little bit for you. Okay. I'm going to use my Dao sword just to sort out the zombies or the puppets. I'll use my pistol just to sort that guy out so he doesn't bother me. Just close that door. The horde spawned outside. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, most of the puppets are upstairs. Now, usually need a key card and a fuse to get in here. You can always get the key card in this room over here. Just when you hear the vents, stand still. Don't do anything when you hear the vents. Then we're going to get the key card. Okay, there's the blue key card. You don't always find it the first time, but I mean, we came in here with a key card. If you don't have a key card, you're going to need the key card to open up this door. And then you're going to need fuses to power the first 3 rooms. I am literally just going to see if I can quickly find a fuse. Shouldn't be that hard. Okay, so there's a 400 fuse. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. Okay, so now I'm going to take the 400 fuse to the... You want at least the 400 and above. So we're going to attach the fuse. We are standing here. We're just going to give A and B power. Just A and B. Okay. Then we're going to move over here. And we are going to fail this door on purpose repeatedly until Brenner comes. Because Brenner is the secret. So I'm just going to enter the code wrong. And activate, activate Brenner as much as I can, and then I'm gonna kill whatever comes with the ACOG. There's a dropship outside, I don't care about it. Gonna reload. And you can see my rifles and my sniping is going up, but I want Brenner. That's the main thing. I want Brenner. So I'm gonna fail it again. I want Brenner to come here. Now, if Brenner, for some reason, doesn't want to come, guys, then you go and fetch him. Okay, then you go and fetch him. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go fetch him. And you just go all the way down to the bottom. And you bring him to you. They just bring him to you, and we're gonna use the other power room now. We're gonna use the other power room now. Just stay away from his. Just stay away from the flames. The razor's gonna drop down here, and you just keep shooting. Just stand at the back, and then the flames can't get to you. Literally stand at the back. When you hear that loud sound, this guy's gonna come down. Whenever you hear that baby crying, just make sure you kill the razor. Don't know what he's doing, but he's standing still. That's all that's important. We're at 70%. Let's repair it. Let's go again. Keep him busy. This guy's gonna drop down. Just shoot him that he doesn't go anywhere. And then kill this guy. And then shoot him. Now, I'm going to put the sound softer for you guys so we can actually know what the heck is going on here. Okay. So, all the sound is softer now. We're almost at advanced sniping. One more magazine. There we go. Okay. Just reload the magazine. I don't have to aim down the sight for this guy. I can just shoot him like this. Sorry, I didn't hear the baby. But there we go. We're at advanced intelligence or advanced sniping, and now we can just carry on until we're at advanced rifles. You guys can see we're leveling up our rifles as well. Stand back so he doesn't burn you. You see, 42% rifles. And just... I don't know why he disappears. But as long as you're shooting him in the stomach, that's great. And you can see we're at 43% rifles now. If we get all the shots in his stomach, we're at 45%. And, you know, that's where you're going to use most of your ammunition to level up rifles to advanced. But this is how you level up your rifles to advanced, and you know, and your sniping. But this gets your sniping to advanced very quickly. You can even get your sniping to advanced plus, but it's going to take you quite a time to get your rifles to advanced plus. So if you enjoyed this, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor and click that like button. If you've got any extra tips to share with the community, then please do so. In the next video, I will share some thoughts with you guys on leveling up your attributes since the changes. And I'm always going to be making videos helping you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Cheers.